Well, now let's move up to the gun turret up here, and let's work on some of these pieces. If we select this one here, we can see we've got a mirror modifier on it. And how do we want to use this, or how do we want to do this? Is it something that we're going to see all at once, like the front windows, or is it something that we're only going to see from the side? It's kind of difficult to say. I'm going to make an executive decision and say it's like the front windows, in that we're going to need to apply the mirror modifier, because I think we'll be able to see both sides from this kind of view. So let's go ahead and do it all in one. I'll go ahead and hit the division key on the numpad, and let's, for now at least, take away the mirror modifier. Let's go ahead and press Control A and apply the scale. And for this, let's tab into edit mode and take a look at it. We could test it by just trying out Smart UV Project. We press U and Smart UV Project and click OK. And that's not bad. We can also scroll the angle limit here. If we click and drag in the angle limit, you can see that as we do, we get different organizations of the UV island. So it can go from 1 here up to 89 degrees. So this isn't bad. If we take it up to 89 and hit enter, that's what we get. Once again, we'll probably have to triangulate these n-gons. I don't know, is there a better way to do it? Could we select these edges and give this a try? Let's give this a try. We can always go back and use the Smart UV Project, but I think I want to try and just select these edges all around here. There's that one. Let me go ahead and mark these. And I'm just going to go and select these, mark these. Then I guess we should go ahead and grab the corners here like we've done before. This one and this one and this one. Let's go ahead and do that. We should probably grab these two. That's enough of an angle that we want to probably break those out. And then on the inside of the windows too, we're going to need to do that. So I'm not sure if it's going to be radically better than the Smart UV Project. I just thought I'd try, and this is kind of the way I do things usually. I'll let Blender have a shot at it, and then I'll give it a try and see which one works a little bit better. Oops, I hit the wrong thing there. Let's try this again. There we go. All right, so now that we've got that, let's go ahead and select everything. So there's the UV map we have currently with Smart UV Project. Let's now press U and unwrap and see how we did here. It looks like that may just be better to go with the Smart UV Project. So let's just select everything with A. Let's press Control E and clear the seams right here. And then I'll go back to U, Smart UV Project. Okay. And there we go. So sometimes you just gotta give it a try and see. I'll press Control T to clean that up. And all right, let's go ahead and tab back into object mode. Let's go ahead and add a mirror modifier. And let's go ahead and apply it. There we go. So now we've got all of this UV map. Now, this will split up into the UV islands for both sides. It will ultimately look, or at least it'll break out something like this. If we go to Pack Islands here, it'll break out more like that. And that's fine. All right, so let's hit the division key and let's take a look at this one here. Now this does have a few modifiers on it, so let's hit the division key and isolate it. This one here has a solidify on it, so we should apply that. And then it also has a mirror, and we should probably go ahead and apply that too, because we're going to see it, it's all one piece, and we'll be able to see it in one view there. So let's go ahead and apply it. And let's tab into edit mode. One thing I should do, let me just check this. If I press Alt-Z, yeah, look at this. How did I know? Here are some internal faces here. Let me select this and this. So when I mirrored this over or connected these together here, there were faces on the inside or on the edge of those parts that came together. And so we still have those internal faces, and that would cause a problem when we UV map. Let's go ahead and delete these, hit X and delete faces. There we go. So that cleans that up. So just keep an eye on that when you mirror objects over. That's something to keep an eye on. And now that we've done that, we could select this whole edge, and we don't need that there. So we could just press X and dissolve edges. So there we go. Now for this is just complex enough and oddly shaped enough where I'm going to try Smart UV Project right up front. Let's go ahead and press Control A and apply the scale in U and Smart UV Project. It's at 89 here. Let's go ahead and leave it there and see what it does. Not bad. Let me take it down to say 66 or 1. 1's not bad either, but it breaks it into more UV islands the lower the angle limit, usually. So let's take it back up to 89 and see how that is. Yeah, let's go with that. That'll be fine. I'll hit the division key, and let's see if we can do something else. Let's go ahead and work on this one here. Once again, let's hit that division key and isolate. It looks like we have a mirror modifier on it. So let's tab into edit mode, and let's take a look. I'll press Alt-Z and go to face mode, and sure enough, there's another internal face right there. I got to quit doing that. So let's hit X and delete that face. There we go, that's better. And then let's go back to object mode and apply the mirror. And for this one, let's just see what happens when we use Smart UV Project again. Let's hit U and Smart UV Project. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. We've got some issues with the n-gons here. So here and here, we've got n-gons, and here and here. So let's go ahead and press Control T. All right, so we've got that done. Let's hit the division key, and what else should we do? Well, how about these windows here? I think these are going to be able to be really only seen from one side. Granted, we can see through, but it's going to be glass. So that's going to be a glass material that will see through to the other side. So there's not going to be much of a difference between those. And we're not going to be able to see the brackets on the other side here. We'll only be able to see one side or the other. So let's keep the mirror modifier off of these until after we pack islands. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the mirror modifier. Let's hit that division key. And let's think about how we want to do this. We tab into edit mode. I'm going to go to face mode and hit the L key. And then I'm going to press Shift H to hide all the unselected objects. And now let's just work on this. We need this back face because it's a big chunk of glass. So we need that. We can't delete that. But what we can do is split this out. So we could select this edge right back here and mark a seam. And then we could just select these corners. Let's do that. And then let's select everything with the A key, press U and unwrap. Let's go to conformal, angle based. This tells me, this kind of worries me because look how differently shaped the sides are as compared to the front. Like the front here is square, sure, but the sides are rectangular, but they're square here. So that tells me that we need to go back and press Control A and apply the scale. Let's do that. Tab back into edit mode. Let's hit U and re-unwrap this. And sure enough, there we go. Let's change to conformal. Same thing. Okay, so that doesn't matter. So let's press Alt-H to bring these pieces back. And let's test this. I'll press Shift-H to isolate it. And once again, this is kind of an oddly shaped piece. Let's see what we can do with using Smart UV Project. Let's try this. Okay, we're at 89. If I drag it down, not much happens. So let's just keep it at 89 all the way up there. And that's fine, I think. That'll work. So let's press Alt-H to bring everything back. So what that tells me is I can just go through, do the same thing to these other two glass blocks, and then Smart UV project all of the clamp pieces or whatever, the braces around the windows. So let's just go ahead and do that real quick. Let's press Shift-H. We will select these edges here, these edges on the corner, and this one here. And then we'll press Alt-H. Let's come up here. Let's do that same thing. Shift-H, period. And let's select these edges here, these corners, and these corners. Okay, so we got that. Alt-H. So let's now select this glass block and this glass block with the L key and U and unwrap. Okay, so those are good. And this one we've already got, right? Yep. And I'm just going to go around and select each one of these now, each one of the brackets, and hit Smart UV Project. And then these as well. And I could maybe, the problem with Smart UV Project is if you select them all, they can do a different thing than if you select them individually, but those look pretty good. Let's go ahead and go with that. So now if we select everything, we can hit U and Average Island Scale. Oh, let me select everything here first in the UV editor. Then let's go to the UV menu, Average Island Scale. There we go. So it averages all the sizes to be proportional to what they are in the 3D view here. And then let's go ahead and go to UV and Pack Islands, and that packs them all in there. Okay. So we've got that. Let's go ahead and tab back into object mode and hit the division key. And there we go. We've got the turret. In the next video, let's work on this front panel, and we'll begin on the machine gun as well.